What's going on, everyone? What is going on, ladies and gentlemen and ladies? I'd like to welcome you to Steele Live, and happy Memorial Day to you. Happy Memorial Day to you all. And I'd like to give a very special, just want to start things off right now with a moment of silence for all our veterans and everybody who has served and is currently serving in our military. All right. Good to see you guys. We have a lot of familiar names in the chat and some new ones as well. That's a nice combo. Guys, if you haven't hit that like button, make sure you do that. Smash that like button like you'd smash your childhood celebrity crush. Takes a split second of your time. It doesn't cost you a dime. It's the number one thing you can do to help this new, quickly emerging community get in front of more viewers, etc., etc. Plus, if you're new here, I would like to personally welcome you to Steven Steele Live and encourage you to join the community. Hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell. And if you've already subscribed, you hit the notification bell too, because it takes all the guesswork out of when I go live. And I do post videos here as well, but it's predominantly a live stream show. So yeah, that is definitely most advantageous. We've got Erectile Reptile, Slay Blaze, Duncan, Matthew, Bradley, By Doge, Ryan, Vampire Kangaroo, Chad Bagley, The Chill Auriculator, Golden Greaser, Traveling Doge, Adam, SG, and on, and the list goes on. And the Doge goes on, and the beat goes on. And we are seeing just a pretty fun, interesting day today. And we're going to talk about it all and everything in between. But without any further ado, I would like to bring on a man with a plan who needs no introduction. And to this community, it's a Dogecoin millionaire, Nick Balls. Nick, how are you?
Surge it.
Yes, we are surging it. We are bringing it, my friend. How was your
surge? Beef Supreme is like nowhere to be found. Is he in the chat? I haven't seen him.
I haven't seen him. It's funny. Beef Supreme, usually when it actually is surging, Beef Supreme is absent from the chat. And when it's most need of surge, it's usually when there. Yeah, he's there. So it's kind of like a reverse effect. You know, when I got asked on Twitter earlier today, Steven Steele, someone asked me, you know, what is the secret to Doge rising in market value and these mini surges? They said, well, what could be the potential causes of the small surge in Dogecoin's price? And I said, my friend, it's very simple. The Dogecoin dog is a female. Therefore, when you ignore it, it vies for your attention. And when you try, so that is my theory, and that's another reason why when people try too hard to impress the Doge and have these special days in attempts to raise its market value, it doesn't work out. So you just gotta stay chill, and the Doge will come to you, and the Doge will rise on her own. So Nick, how was your Memorial Day?
Very hungry and uneventful. I pretty much I slept all day. By the way, I'm gonna have to go mute myself for a minute, here in a couple minutes. My food is actually being delivered.
Sure,
right
no
now.
problem.
My delivery guy, they deliver on Sundays, didn't deliver on Sunday, is delivering right now, so I didn't have food today. I made do, but you know, I swear, every time, and I'm not competing this year, you know, this is just whatever for fun and whatnot, but every year that I get dieted down, the week before I'm supposed to either be on stage or be at a photo shoot or something like that, everyone tries messing with me. Everything goes wrong, and it's all out of stuff that's out of my control, and it's just like the universe is actively trying to not let me be ripped, but I won't let it.
That is one of the more Nick quotes I've ever heard in my life. The universe is trying not to. What'd you say? The universe is trying to not let me be ripped.
Actively trying to not let me be ripped, but I will not let that happen, Steven.
I know you
will
won't.
Not let that happen.
I know you're built like a real life action figure. Yeah, I have no doubt that you're not let that happen. I'll let you get your food and then come back in a few minutes, Nick.
He's gonna. The guy already called me. He should be here in about 10 minutes. So
okay. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Just excuse yourself when you got it.
Yep.
So, who is responsible for keeping Doge down? Jeff said Doge is really not down when you look at the full perspective of it over the last, 3+ months. It's actually one of the cryptocurrencies that's performing more resiliently and more positively comparatively. So again, as I say often on this show, it's all about context. Everything is contextual. If you really want to get to the meat of the matter, figure out what the truth is, look at it within its context. Everything is about context, my people. So huge news today. Absolutely phenomenal, huge news. Billy Marcus, my friend and original creator of the Doge, nominates Greg to be the new unofficial Dogecoin CEO. Can you dig it? Yes, that is right, my friends. Greg 16676935420 is now the unofficial Dogecoin CEO worldwide, and it has been official. This is official news now, and you can go check it out at gregcoin.org, which is his actual splash page that was set up. But seriously, though, from the moment Greg became unofficial CEO of Dogecoin at the knighting of Billy Marcus, Greg immediately called for a 10% increase for all holders of the Doge, and the market corresponded right away. So our new and all-powerful overlord, Greg 16676935420 has decreed and declared all holders will be the joyful, exuberant recipients of an immediate increase in Dogecoin market value. So this is just phenomenal, fantastic news that is bestowed upon us, my friends. Yes. I am really excited about that. I am really excited about the new era, the new Greg era. What about you, Nick?
I am extremely excited, Stephen, and I'm even more excited for Greg's upcoming Oreo collab. I've been looking forward to this for quite some time. It looks like they're putting together a pretty good Greg brand deal, and be looking forward to that in stores soon.
Is this something that's has any real plans or merit to it? Can you extrapolate on this?
I saw some tweets from Greg and at Oreo. I don't know the ins and outs of the project. Yeah. Although I will say that maybe it was last week or something. Greg followed me on Twitter, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And he reached out to me the other day to help him be his personal trainer. So I don't know if we can fit Oreos into a diet, but I'll try.
Yeah, I'm just tweeting him back right now because he put the eye emojis on my tweet out about this episode. And so I'm just tweeting him back. And also, if you're listening, I'm just saying, Greg, you're welcome. You're welcome anytime to come on the show to eat Oreos live on the air. let me
I
know.
have my theories about Greg.
All right, we're going to get some Greg theories right after this. Isaac Castile, $5 super chat. One, Nick needs to be ripped versus universe's want for a return to normal is like two cosmic tidal forces tugging on one another. Money's on Nick and Doge. Isaac hedging his bets on both Nick and Doge. Thank you again, Isaac Castile. Super chats are always hugely appreciated for my time and efforts here, and you can feel free to ask whatever questions or comments, and Nick and I will prioritize those accordingly. Now, Nick is about to lay out a theory that he has in relation of.
I'll tell you off air.
Greg. Now it's off air.
Yeah, well, it's not really. No, it's not like a groundbreaking Alex Jones theory or anything.
Okay.
I just think I believe I have some insider info on Greg. I don't want to release it to the public just because I don't know if he wants it being released.
Okay, got it. Well, we'll talk off of the air. So, Rock Lobster, welcome. Good to see you, my friend. It says, if Lady Gaga has Oreos, Greg sure as hell needs them too. I didn't know that Lady Gaga had her own Oreo. Were you aware of this?
I don't know. Maybe I'm not I don't eat those kinds of foods, but last time I did eat Oreos was when they came out with the birthday cake Oreos. And man, dude, I used to freaking demolish those things in the off season. I'd eat a whole box of those in a sitting.
Yeah, they are.
I think that's like 10,000 calories or something.
Yeah, something ridiculous. Oreos do have a distinctively addictive quality to them, which is why they've stuck around for so long. Cake flavor. Cake. Speaking of which, Coco Chanel up in the room. Hey, Steven, much love from Coco Chanel. We love Coco here, and I was having a good time mixing it up with Coco on Twitter today, and things were fun, things were flirty, and then things went sideways when people started making. Yeah, things started getting pretty sideways, and I was like, it was like that meme. I'm like, I'm gonna head out. I'm good. So, good to see you, Coco Chanel. Dave Carter coming in, $5 super chat. Thank you, Dave. Question for both of you. Oh boy, if you had to do the sexy, oh boy. I feel like this is only the sort of question that would come from a man of a particular preference and persuasion.
And Dave is very into bodybuilding, so there's a word for these guys in the bodybuilding world.
Oh man, it's because I'm just genetically not hardwired that way. It's hard for me to. It's a difficult question for me to grasp. What do you say, Nick?
I don't know. I don't know. I guess Brad Pitt. I don't know.
It's one of these things where
not current. I'm talking about like Fight Club Brad Pitt.
Okay, so he does. Yeah, that's a more specific answer. So, Nick sharing a bit about himself with us today. Nick says,
if I had to,
early Brad Pitt.
Like,
okay.
Yeah, if I was being, held captive and I had to,
Yeah, for me, it's hard for me to, view dudes that way, but there are guys like men that I think are extra cool, so I guess that's the closest I can get to taking a stab at this. So with that in mind, I guess I would go with like Steve McQueen from back in the day.
You would.
Yeah, I would. I know. It makes too much sense. Nelson, $5. A day off plus Doge stream with Steven plus a cold one equals a good day. Thank you so much for that, my friend. Thank you so much,
be right
Nelson.
back to grab my food.
No problem. Well, Nick is grabbing his food. We're just going to keep it going here. Coco Chanel is just painting her nails, just relaxing, just putting up her feet. You know, she's got the nice fan on her right now. Just living it up Coco style. Let's see. Yeah, so the Greg effect is upon us right now, guys. The moment that Billy Marcus had christened the all-powerful Greg 166-769-35420. The Doge market instantly responded with a gratuitous upswing. Greg decreed it from his castle, from Castle Greg, from Castle Greg Skull. I have the power! Many years ago today, on the year 2021, May 31st, a creator of the Doge, Billy Marcus, had bestowed and knighted the one and only all-powerful Greg 166-769-35420. And on that day, the Doge began to rise like never before and had begun an adventure of a lifetime. Don't miss it. This summer, Billy Marcus, Coco Chanel, and Greg, what's his number name? That's how you have to always introduce them. And Greg 166-769-35420 star in Dogecoin, a new era, rated PG. So yeah, this is exciting. It's fun news. It's fun news. It's incredible news. And I hope most of you had a great day off today. I hope you had a great day off today. I spent most of it, I actually was catching up on some much needed sleep. And then I was working from my computer with my business most of the day. And then I was kind of peeking around on Twitter with you degenerates. So it's just kind of a combination of those things. So Kyle S is in the building. Truckin' All Day is in the building. Bang Stun is talking about Heather Graham from Boogie Nights. You know, I remember going, this is dating me a bit, but I remember going on a first date with a girl to see Boogie Nights in the theater. It was not my idea, mind you. She wanted to see Boogie Nights. And I gotta tell you, I don't know if those of you who have seen this film, not the best first date movie when you're first getting to just break the ice with someone. It's very intense. It's very perverse. It's very perverse. It's very intense. It's an uncomfortable movie to watch with someone on a first date, I assure you. RW, welcome, guys. Guys, if you haven't hit that thumbs up button, please do. It really helps. It's honestly the number one thing you can do to help grow the show. And also, if you're new here, I'd like to personally welcome you and encourage you to subscribe. And feel free to super chat anytime throughout the broadcast. That's hugely appreciated for my time and efforts. So we have that going on. And there's just been a lot of interesting energy going on. You know, people are worried. People are that, you know, Dogecoin is trading sideways and this, that, and the other thing. Folks, people, listen to me. Listen to your man, Steele, when I tell you to all, for the love of God, calm your collective tits. It's going to be okay. The Doge is resilient. The Doge is doing well, particularly in context, particularly compared to how the rest of the market is doing. Take a deep breath, let it out slowly. We are more well positioned than most people realize, than the media acknowledges. Speaking of the media, I roasted to the 1000th degree the Motley Fool in a video that I put out last night. If you haven't seen that, definitely go check that out. I break down and expose what the Motley Fool has been doing in relation to Dogecoin, specifically, and how it works and why they do it. And I think I do it in a pretty amusing way. So check that out sometime. It's like a 13 to 15 minute video. And I think it's just helpful to be aware of. It's helpful to be aware of because the Motley Fool does have a lot of pull and readership, most notably from the reputation that they have staked and have had a history with in the stock market. Now, I do not obviously trust or endorse for the Motley Fool for anything Doge related, let alone crypto related. Erectile Reptile coming in with a $10 super chat on Memorial Day. Thank you so much, Erectile Reptile. Appreciate that bigly. Says, beef it up. Beef it up. With a big steak, T-bone steak emoji. I am salivating, my friend. I love it. Fact, the voice actor of SpongeBob and the voice actor of Karen, Plankton's computer wife, have been married since 1995. That is a fun fact. You definitely put the fun in that fact, my friend. That's pretty wild. 1995. That is over.
Hey, I'm back.
That's going on 30 years. That's like 25, 26 years. So that is wild. That is wild. And welcome back, Nick. Are you you got some? You all right?
Yeah, I have some news to report.
Yeah, go ahead.
Greg is watching.
And how have you confirmed that Greg is watching?
He just DM'd me.
Greg.
Oh, now I got to tell him.
Greg, tweet out a shout out to Steven Steele live right now. We have to confirm this.
He is 100%. He said, "I'm curious on this theory." It's not a groundbreaking theory. I just came across. I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one who's caught this, but maybe I don't know.
Well, the theory is obviously what we have to be careful about is any sort of doxing or anything like that, right?
Exactly. I don't. Yeah. Yeah.
So, is it possible for you to explain this theory without delivering that part of it?
Sure. So I think I know someone who is very connected to Greg.
Okay.
And it was very obvious who this person was.
Yes, yes.
Through their name on Twitter. They've changed their name. But it was somebody that I was familiar with in the community before. I think even before Greg made his profile, maybe. So I don't want to say any more than that, but they've.
So I want to get back to your theory, but now Greg has confirmed on Twitter that he is watching. He just tweeted at me. He said, "I've been watching, and yes, Lady Gaga has her own Oreos," and attached is a picture of the Lady Gaga Oreos broken right into down. It looks like that bag's been through a few things, and I'm not sure if that's Greg's. I feel like that's Greg's Lady Gaga Oreos. I'm going to retweet this out for people to see firsthand from themselves. So this is pretty incredible. I am learning something new every day. I didn't know Lady Gaga Oreos were a thing. The packaging is pretty epic. It's pretty incredible. So Greg just tweeted at your man, Steven Steele, and he says, I've been watching. And yes, Lady Gaga has her own Oreo. Well, I tell you, folks,
they look good too.
Folks, this is the most important news of the day, and that's why we're covering it here on Steven Steele Live. You really haven't lived your life fully within the Doge realm until you've listened to Greg eat an Oreo. It's a very intense experience. It's a bit cerebral, and it's both meditative and enlightening. Have you heard this, Nick? Have you ever heard Nick eat an Oreo?
Me or Greg?
Well, I know you. Have you ever heard Greg eat an Oreo?
Oh, like IRL, like over.
Over audio.
No, I never. I haven't heard Greg speak, but I believe I know who. I think I know who Greg is.
You're gonna have to inbox that to me because we do want to protect Greg's identity. If in the event anyway that your theory is close or even or correct, so I had an idea too who Greg was, but I think I was wrong because I confronted the person who I thought Greg might be, and I actually believed the person that told me that it wasn't them. So now I'm curious as to what your.
Let me be clear. I don't know Greg personally. I know someone who is close to Greg.
How do you know? Okay.
I don't know them like we're not like friends or anything. I know who they are.
Yes. So, since we don't have Greg here with us tonight, I'm going to do my best Greg impersonation right now.
Do you have Oreos over there?
I don't have Oreos, but I have something that's crunchy. It probably wouldn't appeal to most people. They are seaweed snacks. Do you know what these are, Nick?
Oh yeah, I've heard you talk about them before. Not while I was on, but I was rewatching a show. You talked about them. You know what?
They're not for everyone, but they're in my peripheral. Okay, guys, and they crunch. So I am going to They're very salty.
Oh my God! Somebody just
what?
Dave just.
What's going on?
He just made a meme of me with Brad Pitt from Fight Club. Which watching it just says, "I want you, Brad."
I just saw that. See, this is why we cannot answer these kinds of questions, even in jest. This is what happens. This is. I just saw it. And you have a very intense look on your face. I assume that was taken from like a gym
It looks
pic.
like a prison photo.
It definitely looks like it's prison. Yeah. So, yeah, that is wild. So,
let it be known that IRL, I am significantly bigger than Brad Pitt is in that particular movie. I don't know about now, but
well, yeah, that goes without saying. Yes. Good to see you, Esteban. I see you in the chat, my friend. Pink cookie with green frosting in the center. Yuck, Slay Blaze says yes. From what I'm seeing, that is what the Lady Gaga Oreo edition does consist of. It kind of looks like it kind of reminds me of like a drag queen meets Christmas. I guess that is what I would describe the Lady Gaga Oreo presentation with. But when I actually heard Greg eat Oreos live on the air in a Twitter space that he formed one day, well, people just kind of sat in awe. I'm not sure if they should speak or just sit in awesome epic silence with Greg. And this is what we heard. I'm just going to do a dramatic reenactment. Greg, I know you're listening, so just, feel free to give me a 1, and don't go easy on me, Greg. Give me like a 1 through 10 on accuracy for my impersonation of you. Here we go. My impersonation of a Greg 16676935420 eating Oreos. Almost done, guys. All right, that's it. I did my best under the circumstances with the snack in my peripheral. Now, understand from what I had observed the one time I listened to Greg eat Oreos, there was a lot of ruffling of the packaging. That seemed to be a very trademark. That seemed like to be a very trademark attribute of Greg embarking and consuming his Oreos. So, Greg, I want you to somehow tweet in the comment of maybe the tweet you gave me or whatever, 1 through 10 on accuracy for my efforts as a dramatic reenactment of Greg eating Oreo live on the air. I don't know. What do you think, Nick? How did it sound on your end?
You actually muted yourself on my end, but I did open up the audio on the video, and it sounded pretty accurate. You could tell that the seaweed was very thin, though, you know, so it doesn't have the same.
Yeah, it doesn't have the same glutinous, crunchy effect.
Yeah,
guys, what I'm gonna do, I really can't eat that stuff too much right now, but I am going to get some Oreos. I'm gonna dunk them. I'm even gonna dunk them. I'm gonna do a combination of dunking a few Oreos and eating them undunked, both with full packaging tomorrow night on the show. Then we'll see how it stacks up again. I know it was a bit improv, so even if Dave gives me a 7.8. I think that's pretty generous considering that I didn't have the real goods. So Slay Blaze says seaweed Oreos maybe. Yeah, that is a combination. I don't think that would be too appetizing to many people. Seaweed Oreos.
Is it salted seaweed?
It's very salted, my friend. Yes. Yeah.
I love that.
They're really high in a couple very specific nutrients like iodine and something else that eludes me at this moment. But I love my seaweed snacks. Maybe I should move to Japan. Maybe we could strike it big in Japan, Nick.
You never know. I'm actually, it's funny. The meal that we're having when we get down to Florida. So for dinner that first night, we're going for sushi.
Yes.
Because it's I can get like carved up on it, but it won't make me spill over. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
perfect.
I think that's a good introduction for you down there, and I've been planning and plotting behind the scenes, Nick, for your substitutes while you're gone during your vacation tenure there. So we're gonna do our best to get by without Nick for while he's on vacay and sunning himself and carbing himself and who knows what else, but I'm sure we'll get the full report upon his return. Andrea K says, thin Oreos bug me. Why market a smaller cookie for the same price as though it's something awesome? I can feel the passion and the rage behind Andrea K on her sentiment towards skinny Oreos. And thank you for sharing that with us. Kyle S. coming in with $2. Put your Oreos in the freezer, then eat. So good. Actually, a great suggest. I think I will do that. There is something rather extra satiating about taking Oreos out of the freezer, making you work for it a little bit more with the extra clamp down before feeling that frosty goodness release inside of your mouth. This description turned into something I didn't see coming when I first embarked upon it. But I know what you're saying, Kyle. Thank you for sharing. UFOs are real, Alan says. A lot of interesting energy in the chat tonight. A combination of Oreo enthusiasm, rage, and non sequiturs. Just keep it all coming, folks. Keep it all coming. So, again, I'd like to give a special shout out and a special thank you to Greg for watching, listening, and supporting our community here. And again, congratulations on being the new unofficial Dogecoin CEO. And Greg, I personally welcome your leadership. And you're not even one day in on your tenure, and we are already seeing the dividends. So what do you say, Nick, about the era of Greg being upon us?
I appreciate his time and contributions to, not only the Twitter space, but just the Doge family as well. I think he's a great addition to the team.
Yes.
I love what he's doing. I think his 10% call was just, came at the absolute right time.
Absolutely.
And, if you look at it, we're over Bitcoin today in percentage gain per 24 hours. So, hey, look, whatever Greg's doing, I'm all for it. I love what he does. I'm a huge Greg fan, and who knows, maybe in the future, when I get back from vacation, I can be Greg's personal trainer. I've apparently filled that slot for a few people in the community, including Nick Papadogio, who's coming out
tomorrow night. Yeah, Nick's coming out. Nick's coming on tomorrow night. Yes, he's our special guest tomorrow night. So you're going to be you're Nick's new consultant, nutritionally and fitness wise.
Yeah, I've been called on by a few prominent members of our growing community to help them with their diet and training and supplementation, whatever they need. I am here for. So. Yeah, I love it. I think it's great. I think people, especially the leaders in the community want to stay in shape, and everybody wants to feel, their best and stuff. And I have all the tricks and secrets and all the little things that the average person doesn't think about or know about to get healthy. So yeah.
And to maximize the results, I'm sure. You guys, I have some very epic news to announce. Greg literally just tweeted me back moments ago his review of my Greg eating Oreos impersonation. This is coming from the man himself. His review and his score that he gave your man Steele on his Oreo eating impersonation. So the official score from Greg, 16676935420, is 8.1 on the Oreos. Sorry, switching between stream and Twitter on my phone because I don't have any other devices. LOL. Greg, thank you so much. I have to say that is a very generous and more than fair review of my impersonation of your Oreo eating. In fact, I would dare say it's a bit too generous, and you are very kind. You're being very kind. I feel like you're being too polite. You didn't want to give me too rough of a review in front of my audience, being live.
I think you would have gotten a way better score if they were actually Oreos.
Yeah, I feel like under the circumstance of them not being Oreos, I feel like that was a very, very generous score from Greg. So we're just going to retweet that score out. And that's wild stuff. Go ahead.
It's up. Risky posted today that Greg is now the fake Doge CEO on their timeline. And I think that's a little disingenuous. I would say that Greg is the real Doge CEO.
Wait,
who knows?
Hold the phone. So it's all risky. Called Greg the fake CEO of Dogecoin today
on their fleet. Yeah,
I love It's All Risky, but man, that's a bit harsh. I don't consider Greg to be the fake CEO of Dogecoin at all. He is the we like to say unofficial. And according to Billy Marcus, he is also now the unofficial CEO of Dogecoin. Fake is it's pretty harsh. It's all risky. I don't know.
Actually, now that I read it, so Greg called himself the fake Dogecoin CEO. I'm revising the tweet. So I guess they were just kind of replying to what Greg said. So I guess it makes sense.
And just to be clear, we're making a lot of nothing, guys. We're just having fun. We love It's All Risky, and we love Greg. They both watch this show. They're both fans of this show. It's All Risky has tweeted over at me a few times now that when he's letting me know that he or she is when they are watching the shows. So we love
a couple people.
What's that?
Could be more than one person.
It could be. It could be kind of a collaborative. Maybe It's All Risky is a small team. It could be it could be a duo,
like Banksy.
Yeah, like just a collective entity.
Yeah.
Right. I could see that. I could definitely see that. Kyle says, since you guys were talking about vampire movies the other night, you should check out a series called The Strain, written and directed by, how do I pronounce that last name?
Guillermo del Toro.
Oh yeah, thank you. Guillermo del Toro. I know del Toro's. Yes. They're basically vampire zombies. Okay, yeah, I'll check it out. I have to say though, I'm the kind of guy that usually likes to keep his zombies separate from his vampires and his vampires separate from his zombies, but I am open to exploring the hybrid and seeing how it strikes my fancy. So thank you, Kyle.
It's that one movie where they Cabin in the Woods, where they do everything. It's like zombies, vampires, every kind of monster. And it ends with a very H.P. Lovecraft twist to it. That's a great movie, and it incorporates vampires and zombies pretty well.
Wait. So I think I've definitely heard of this film, and I'm trying to. I may have even seen it, but I'm not quite sure because it was a while ago. But are they vampires and zombies, and then other things on top of that, or just like vampires and zombies?
Every kind of monster that you could possibly imagine. They all exist. And the premise of the movie is that, like, I can't remember what the time frame is, but it's like every 50 year, or maybe it's every decade, I don't know, every 10 or 20 or whatever, how many years, one country has to sacrifice, like, I can't remember, it's either one or two people, to appease the old ones, essentially, the gods living underneath the crust of the earth, who are like these, Godzilla-like gigantic beings.
That's too much. Too much. It's too much. I just give me some class. Just give me like one or two kinds of monsters, and killing people in a cabin. This is too lofty for me. Now, it's just too much being thrown at me. But I will. What's it called?
Cabin in the Woods. Check it out. It does start out very classic horror, what's that? Not Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Kind of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But then it takes this incredible twist at the end where everything just comes off the rails and it gets insane. Evil Dead was what I was thinking of.
Oh, Evil Dead. Now I love Evil Dead.
Yeah. It's very Evil Dead in the beginning, and then it takes this incredible twist at the end. Please, if you have not seen Cabin in the Woods, it's an incredible film. Channing Tatum's in it, I think. Great movie. Check it out. Very well worth it.
Okay. Well, I have to say I'm not the biggest Channing Tatum fan, but I do love horror. I will check it out. Have you seen, speaking of weird horror, have you seen Alien? I think it was the fourth one. I'm Googling it right now. And it was
Chris Helmsworth, by the way. It wasn't Channing Tatum. My bad.
Okay. Okay. All right. I like Chris Helmsworth better than Channing Tatum, but okay. So Alien Resurrection. This is 1997. And it was inspired by some H.P. Lovecraft stuff too. I'm actually, you know what? I'm going to do a Google search for Alien 4 H.P. Lovecraft. Because there was some weird...
Story. Alien Resurrection is the alien which Sigourney Weaver hits a behind the head a basketball shot and nails it first try, and they partially got it on film, and they actually used the reactions from the cast in the actual scene, but they didn't have a camera set up on the net because they didn't think she would make it, and she made it first try.
And that was on the set of Resurrection, the filming of
Yes.
Resurrection? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So
she was on. They had a basketball court in the ship, and she, facing away from the basketball, she threw it behind her head, and made a half court shot.
Wow, that's a fun
not
fact.
Even looking at the net. Yeah, it's pretty
That's
cool.
a fun fact. I like all the Aliens movies, and not that I didn't like Alien Resurrection 4, but it got a little sideways. It got a little weird. There was a point in it where Sigourney Weaver is like very intimately close with like one of the chief aliens, and there's almost like this like I don't want to say a sex scene, but it's kind of like a sex scene. It's very bizarre. Do you know what I'm talking about? Have you seen this?
The mother alien. Yeah.
Yeah. It gets a little too intimate. It gets a little too. Okay,
Ron Perlman's in that one.
Ron Perlman is definitely in it. It's definitely a very Ron Perlman film for sure. The thing is, Alien Resurrection, out of all the Alien movies, it's very unnerving. That's what I guess what I'd say. It's very interesting to watch, but also very unnerving to watch. I can't say I ever want to watch Alien Resurrection ever again. Once was fascinating, it's interesting, but I never want to watch it again because I found it to be so unnerving. Versus the other ones, the first, the second, and the third one even, I could watch those and have watched those multiple times. 4 is a very strange chapter in the saga. I'm not passing judgment. I'm not saying it was bad. I just found it to be a rather unnerving experience. Your thoughts, Nick?
Yeah, I'm a huge Alien fan. I've seen all of them, including the new reboots. Huge fan, and Predator as well. Of course, we all know. Arnold. I watched. There's a channel on YouTube. I don't remember it right off the top of my head, but they actually they take the original comics, the Alien comic books, and they digitize them, and then they read them like word for word. And the videos are like 3 hours long. And sometimes I'll just pop on one of those and like take a nap and just like listen to the Alien story be told in narration form, like a audio book or whatever. It's the Alien universe is so amazing and vast, and incorporates other film franchises as well. I don't think people realize, like, Weyland-Yutani is also part of the Blade Runner universe, and there's like interplay between what's going on in Alien, what's going on in Blade Runner, and obviously Predator as well. I love that universe, and it kind of reminds me of what Elon Musk is trying to do right now. I think it's amazing, and Weyland-Yutani. Steven, you there?
Oh, sorry. Yes, I was muted. Sorry. Blade Runner, definitely one of my favorite films. Definitely in my top 3 favorite films. And I like the second one too. I like Blade Runner 2049. I thought it was really brilliantly done. It was very long. It's about 3 hours long, but
yeah,
remember that? But I went to see it in the theater twice because I wanted to see it in 3D one of the times, which was an option, and then I just saw it not 3D and the other time. But it was a very cerebral, very kind of meditative, interesting film to watch. Just particularly
seems right up your alley.
Yeah, it's very up my alley. I thought it was really well done. I was expecting, anytime you do a sequel to something something that's so classic, you really do take a big risk of not doing it justice and kind of bastardizing the original. But all things considered, I think they did it. They did pretty well by it.
Yeah, I think the main takeaway from the reboot for Blade Runner was like, this is what cinematography should look like today. Like the cinematography and visual effects of that movie were so well done. It is 3 hours long, and it is like, see, people same thing goes for Ghost in the Shell, which I think is I loved that. I loved Ghost in the Shell. I love the original and I love the reboot. But people gave that actress a hard time. One, because she wasn't Japanese, which it's a robot, and then they were like, her acting was her acting was terrible. She was such a bad actor. That's the point. She's playing a robot. Robots aren't emotional. That's the whole point of the movie. I thought that was like the major takeaway from that was like, oh, she did a terrible job. Her acting was awful. It was like she played a robot perfectly. I don't know what more you want. It wasn't going to be an Oscar performance,
Yeah, I remember a dust-up about that. That was Scarlett Johansson, right?
It was my girl. Oh my God, my girlfriend hates when I say that, but I love Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, I mean, what's not to love? She's obviously absolutely gorgeous and super talented, and I thought she did magnificently. I thought she did really well in Ghost of the Shell. And like you said, I remember the hubbub about it, where some people were upset that at her race, you know what I mean? It's kind of a weird thing where people were upset that she was white, and then they were upset that that she wasn't enough of an obvious actress in the film, more expressive. But these people obviously aren't familiar with the series, and not familiar with the backstory, not familiar with what the main character, its development and the nature of it. Because if they did familiarize with the backstory on it and educate themselves more for it, they would see that I thought she knocked it out of the park. I thought she did just a phenomenal job with it.
And another perfect example of like really, really good cinematography. It was more, I mean, if you ask me, it was more action-packed than Blade Runner, but had the same quality of like production level quality, which was insane. I watched a documentary on the remake of Ghost in the Shell, and the amount of work, the studio that did all the special effects is located in New Zealand, and they're very well known for creating like these like very custom, like basically fake robots that kind of act realistically, and they did a great job on that movie. I love that movie. Ooh, so much fun. Every time I deadlift, I don't know if people who are watching are familiar with Ghost in the Shell, but there's a scene in the original, I think they recreated it in the remake too, but there's a scene in the original anime where Major pulls her arms off, lifting the top of a tank off the tank, like the shell of the tank. She like basically deadlifts the tank shell off, and her arms like explode. And every time I deadlift, I envision myself as Major ripping a tank shell off, and I believe I could if I wanted to.
Yeah, I could see it. Let me get your thoughts on something, Nick, just to vary away from our cinematic discussion here. So It appears that sectors of our government here in the U.S. are planning a sort of a cryptocurrency crackdown, and the U.S. financial authorities seem to be preparing to actively regulate, put some new regulations on the market, according to a Financial Times report that came out recently. Now, Michael, I think you pronounce his name, HSU, who was appointed this month as the acting controller of currency, said that he wants to work together to set a regulatory parameter. And he likened what's going on now and saying that he feels observing the cryptocurrency market now to having deja vu to the years preceding the 2008 financial crisis. So to me, equating what's happening now in cryptocurrency to the 2007-2008 financial crisis seems to me to be a bit excessive and hyperbolic. And in a way, it's kind of, I can understand the parallel, but at the same time, I don't. I feel like it's an exaggeration and an apples to oranges to a certain degree. What are your thoughts?
Well, I do believe it is quite hyperbolic. The factors that lie within cryptocurrency are very, very different than the factors that caused the housing market collapse. We're not looking at like AAA rated tranches and all these types of wrapped investment vehicle.
Yeah.
This is not the same thing. However, today, while I was taking one of my many naps, I was listening to a documentary about the crackdown on the Swiss banking sector, which for many years went completely unregulated. The Swiss were very well known for keeping their customers' information private, which basically meant that anyone from the United States or any other country who wanted to hide their wealth from taxation in the United States could do so legally within Switzerland. And the U.S. decided to crack down on that. And it essentially ended Swiss banking dominance in the world as we know it. And they have not recovered from this. In fact, they're still on the decline as the world's major banks no longer accept Swiss regulatory factors. So I think that the fear that people, essentially the U.S. is concerned that people are hiding their money within cryptocurrency to avoid taxation, which, anyone with a VPN and a little bit of knowledge can do this type of thing with offshore banks now within the Caribbean and the Caribbean islands and whatnot. But, here's the thing. People are always going to find a way, some way or another, to get around taxation. That's nothing new. That's been going on since taxes were implemented. I think what the U.S., what they fail to realize is that they have printed themselves into a corner, and they're in a spot now where if they regulate an emerging market such as cryptocurrency, they are going to cause one of two problems. The problem being that they are either going to completely miss out on possible taxes via sells through people who believe that they can hold on to their crypto through the current administration and essentially cash out in a more advantageous time when a new administration takes over and rewrites these eventually defunct laws that will allow them to tax crypto. Or they can just keep things going as normal. People aren't, it's not like 100% of the people who use crypto within the United States are avoiding taxes. They're making their money. They just want to make more money because they printed themselves into a corner. And I'm sorry, but you can't, the U.S. Politicians have built themselves a house of cards, and now it's like they're sitting at the top of a printed house of cards, and there's not a right move here. There's no right move. Whatever move they make, the house is going to come tumbling down. They're going to blame it on crypto, but essentially they messed up. Like, they did this, and it wasn't crypto's fault, and it certainly wasn't your or I's fault.
Yeah. Well stated and laid out there. And Kyle coming through $5. Hey, Steven, I'm curious what you thought about the 2020 Dracula reboot 3-part miniseries on BBC Netflix, made by Stephen Moffat. It was very strange. I haven't watched it. It sounds like something I've seen it, and I've kind of had it. It's kind of in the back of my mind. I just haven't had time to get to it. So yeah, I'm sorry I haven't been able to offer more a thoughtful review on it. I'm glad you reminded me of it though, because it's something something that would interest me, and something that it had interested me. I just didn't get around to it, but I will now that I've been reminded of it. But I don't doubt that. Thank you, Kyle, for the super chat. Dave Carter coming in $5. Which is better, Magic Mike or Magic Mike XXL? Yes, admitting that a man is good looking is definitely not gay. Again, Dave Carter, a theme. Dave Carter. Between the two, I only saw the first one. I saw the first one with my girlfriend at the time at a double feature at a drive-in. Man, I liked it fine. I wouldn't say I loved it, but it was entertaining. That was with Mr. All Right. That guy who's did a really great job. He's a great actor. And then obviously Channing. So I haven't seen the second one. Do you have an opinion on that, Nick?
Wait, did you say you saw it, Magic Mike?
Yeah, I saw the first one with my girlfriend at the time.
I've never seen either of those films. I have no idea.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It was it's pretty much what you expected it to be, honestly. Bang Stun coming in. Also, I have to say the women of Doge are hot. Should make a Dogecoin calendar. Bang Stun, maybe that's something I could work on coordinating. We could put all the proceeds to charity or something. That could be a fun project, actually. One that I might spearhead. I think that could be a fun one. That could be a fun one. So thank you for the idea, Bang Stun. That could be a nice charity raiser, I'm gonna think about that. If anyone else wants to maybe work on that project, let me know. And thank you, Bang Stun. That's a great idea. Maybe getting a calendar and picking some awesome charities or charity to put the money towards. Maybe we could put it towards like an animal rescue kind of project, something like that. That could be really cool. What do you say to that idea, Nick?
Oh yeah.
That could be fun, right?
Yeah, for sure. I like doing projects like that.
Let's see. It's cool, Steven. Love your show. Thank you, Kyle. So I agree with you. I think your thoughts on your observation, your thoughts on the U.S. and a cryptocurrency crackdown are pretty astute, pretty spot on. I do think that the main thing that we do have going for us in terms of them not taking away our cryptocurrency trading rights in America anyways, because they want all those tax dollars. They want all those capital gains.
They just need to make sure that, and they're already doing this, by the way, guys.
Right.
They are making sure that U.S. operated exchanges are being compliant with the Fed. Like that's all they're asking. By the way, if you work, if you trade or whatever, if you hold your coins on Coinbase, 100% you're going to get a tax form. If you're on Robinhood, you're 100% getting a tax form. So like the major exchanges already are compliant. What worries me, and this isn't necessarily for Binance US. Binance US has the past year become pretty compliant with regulatory stuff, but a lot of people, I feel like the majority of tax dodgers are using VPNs to go through standard Binance. Like that's like the major workaround for like most people who are trying to avoid taxes within the U.S. And I can't blame them. That's it works. So I think that they just need to make sure that crypto exchanges that are operating a U.S. facility and are headquartered in other nations are just being compliant like they were with the Swiss banking sector, and hopefully they don't cause a catastrophic collapse doing so.
Right on, Nick. Yeah. I really don't have much more to add to your thoughts on there. I was going to, and then the more I was hearing your talk, I was like, yep, that's what I was going to say. Yep, that's what I was going to say. So, I mean, you honestly handled it really well. Makes my job easier, so I appreciate it. And
That's
I've
what
also
I'm here for.
It does. It really does. Appreciate it. And I have been seeing articles lately, kind of like some fear mongering in the corporate press about stories about I lost millions through my cryptocurrency addiction, and I don't doubt that these things happen, but this isn't. They're trying to make it sound like this is just some new radical phenomenon, mind virus that's taking over. Anytime there's anything to do with money and high risk, there's always going to be irresponsible people drawn to it and making really stupid decisions. To a certain degree, we got to stop being big babies and blaming these things on the market and not holding ourselves accountable for our own stupid decisions. It's just it's kind of like, are you going to try to regulate any sort of thing where it's like horse racing or horse betting or anything else? Like if there's an opportunity for people to bet money on it, or if there's an opportunity for people to involve themselves with their finances that involves any amount of risk, risk reward kind of setup and scenario, there will always be people making egregiously stupid decisions.
Yeah, I mean, we're all adults. Billy and I go back and forth about this. I see him post sometimes, and people know my story. They know what I did to get here, and it was a risk. It was a gamble, but I was an adult, and I made that decision based on the amount of income I had at the time and what I believe the future to be. And we're all adults here, people. If you're investing in crypto and you're a kid and you're using your parents' credit card or whatever, I don't know, whatever it may be, that shouldn't even fall on the government to regulate. That should fall on the exchange to be doing their know your customer due diligence. Like, this is all stuff that we are all able to do. Anyone over the age of 18 can invest in stocks. I've been doing it since I was 18. I've had a financial advisor since I was 18 years old. We all should be responsible and be responsible enough to know what is risk and assess risk potential. And if I don't lose a wink of sleep thinking about the crazy messages you see every so often on your posts. I lost my kid's college fund on Doge and I don't know what to do. It's like, bro, like I could have told you could have messaged me. I would have told you not to do that. Like, I don't care if whatever advice you think it is, like, that's just common sense. Like, it's just unfortunate that see, this is why this is you can tell I'm getting deep into a diet whenever I say common sense isn't so common anymore. But it's true. People are
Yeah, no, I feel you, man. I empathize. Mad Vet coming through $5 with safe. You know who? How do reflections work with taxes? Does that trigger a taxable event when you get reflections? I believe so. I've heard people discuss this that are more knowledgeable about it than myself. To me, the only thing I can tell you, I'll let Nick answer this too. Maybe he's got more light to shed than I do. I don't know. But it definitely makes, anytime you're dealing with any sort of BSC that has reflections, it definitely makes doing your taxes more complicated. Nick?
Yeah, I would consult the CPA about that. Now that I own a BSC coin, which by the way, guys, for those who don't know, my girlfriend and I are both ass holders now. Multi-ass billionaires at this point. And I do plan on becoming a ass trillionaire in the near future, probably once I get back from Florida. Steven, you're gonna have to walk me through like pancake swap and all that stuff.
Yeah, I can do that. I got that down pretty good, and who knows, man? Maybe you'll automatically become an ass trillionaire without even further investment. Maybe this thing could go wild, man. Maybe it could go buck wild and go ass wild.
I see it go up every day. I mean, I get coins every day, and it's funny. My girlfriend asked me, what do I do when I want to sell ass? And I'm like, ask me in a decade. I don't know. I'm not even thinking about it.
Right. Yeah, it is up today though to about the tune of almost 10%, over 10% from yesterday. So the ass is pumping. What's her name? Her Twitter name. Oh, Lil Lauren. We've had her on the show. Yeah, Lil Lauren messaged me today, told me that her ass was clapping and she was happy by the dividends that were going on with ass right now. And I do think there is just a really nice buzz going on right now. It's a real kind of, there does seem to be some ass momentum going on with that community. More people obviously coming into it. Liv, I think, who's a great person and a great CEO, someone to have at the helm there. And essentially, that's what you're invested in, right? If you are taking a chance with it, I wouldn't recommend most people personally put a lot of money into a project like this. It's a lighthearted project. It's a higher risk, higher volatility project. All BSCs are by design. I wouldn't be a responsible show host unless Nick and I laid that out for you. That being said,
long-term hold, just like every other BSC.
Yeah, and that being said, though, what you are investing in a project like that, you really, in my opinion, you want to just really look who's at charge. Do you find them trustworthy? Do you find them likable? What do you think about their business savvy, their instincts in that regard, and how passionate they are about the project? All of these things, I think, are extremely important when you're looking to invest in projects like this. Wouldn't you agree, Nick?
Yeah, with BSC, it's so easy for people to create a token on their chain. And I was explaining this to my girlfriend the other day on Sunday when I set up her ass wallet. And, you have to know who is in charge of a token like that. I kind of, there's, I'm not going to name names, but there's projects with 15 people teams, but it's all created by one guy, and that guy is super sketchy, and I almost think it's better to have a token on BSC that is only being, or that was created and being, managed by just one or two people, because it's a lot easier to keep track of a smaller operation like that. Mm-hmm. I think there's just less that can go wrong when you don't have 20, 30 hands in the honeypot. Yeah, but that being said, most of these reflect tokens, especially BSC reflect tokens, if you guys are going to invest in them, that's fine. but just know that these are not quick flips. These are like, just based on the tokenomics, like how many tokens are out there, these are decade-long holds. And you have to know that getting into it. Like, at the bare minimum, you'll be holding for a year. And that's if you want to see like the shortest return potential. But like, you really should hold on to these things for over 10 years.
Well,
like, or at least 10 years.
Oh, I mean, and your logic behind that is based on the tokenomic system, right?
Correct. Because think about this, guys. Think about this for a second. I held on to Doge, let's just say for 8 years, round math, which is almost a decade. And that is with a coin with essentially 100 billion, cap. Obviously, there's 5 billion being added every year, decrease in inflation over time. But that's 100 billion, or 120, or whatever. We're at 130 billion coins by the end of the year. We thought at one time, when I first bought Doge, we thought 100 billion was that was the most that had ever been made for a coin at that time, and people thought that was crazy. Now think about what multi-trillion cap means. So it exponentially increases the amount of time to create investor momentum, money flow, order flow. All these things need time to accumulate. Of course, there's going to be possibly years that nothing happens, just like Doge. So you have to take all of these factors into account and just realize when you're investing in BSC projects with multi-trillion cap tokens, even with a burn, you're still talking about trillions of coins. It'll take a long time.
This is really a part in the conversation where I really wish we had Liv on here right now to really deep dive into the stuff that you're talking about. And I want to keep exploring this with you in a moment, Nick. Guys, you're listening to your man, Real Deal Steven Steele, coming to you on a special Memorial Day show. Dogecoin rising. Greg, and now the new unofficial CEO of Doge. Right now we are talking about BSGs and Nick's new foray into purchasing his first BSG through Ass token for both him and his girl. And we're just discussing his investment strategies and perspectives on things that are structured like this, and just kind of digging into it. If you haven't hit the like button, please take a moment to do that. It's honestly the number one thing you can do to help a channel like this grow and expand. It takes a split second of your time. It doesn't cost you a dime. So please take a moment to do that if you haven't yet already. If you're brand new here, I'd like to personally welcome you. My name's Steven Steele. This is my channel. This is the co-host, Nick Balls, who's usually with me on the PM shows. And just encourage you to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and join us. We're just growing a really great thing here. I feel really unique.
Greg just DM me, by the way.
We're going to get to that momentarily. And by the way, if you feel compelled to super chat to support the show, that's hugely appreciated for my time and efforts. Feel free to ask whatever questions or comments you want in those super chats, and Nick and I will prioritize those accordingly. So Nick, what did Greg just DM you back?
We were just talking about who I thought the person connected to him was. I guess I was wrong, but that's okay. He was curious to know who you thought he was.
Who I thought he was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't, obviously it wasn't correct, but
I can say who I initially thought Greg was, and I talked to this person about it, and I trust that person. I don't think they would mind me talking about that on the air. My first initial instincts on who I thought Greg was, I thought it was Billy Marcus's alter ego. I thought Billy created this separate account to kind of express himself through the subversive level of humor, because the way Greg tweets and just the general persona and delivery to me shows some striking similarities between that and Billy Marcus's sense of humor. So honestly, that was my first guess. But I was wrong. I asked Billy about it, and he said I would tell you, but if it was, but it's definitely not me. And Billy didn't know either. So
I will tell you this: I'm gonna figure it out. Because have you ever played that game? What's it called? Geo, whatever, where you like you get a picture or something of like the area of Earth, and you have to figure out where it is. Okay, Greg takes a lot of pictures.
Yeah.
And one of these days, see, I thought I figured out who was connected to him because the person that also I thought was connected to him had I matched up their flooring on the pictures, and they had very similar floor tile or whatever, not tile, but whatever. They okay, Greg just messaged me, and he said all he can say is that he is no one but himself, and actually he has no other Twitter accounts.
Interesting.
Which I believe.
Yeah, I believe it too.
But Greg posts a lot of pictures, and I will tell you this, that I am an amazing geo-tracker, and I'm already kind of on the tail of some... I don't want to give it away because I know Greg's listening right now, but I'm figuring things out here just based on some things that he posts.
So there you have it. We got straight from Greg another hint to as the identity of Greg. Greg says that he is who he is, and he has no other Twitter account. So this isn't an alter ego Twitter account. This is his only Twitter. So that is an interesting development as we attempt to unravel the greatest mystery, perhaps, of Dogecoin folklore in history, and that is who is the real Greg 166-769-35420? Will the universe ever learn the true identity of the Greg? Nick Ball seems to be hot on the trail using geothermal location abilities to track down the Greg. I'm just seeing all the numbers and statistics kind of just float around Nick's head right now as we're speaking, like a meme, just trying to locate and identify the true actual identity of Dogecoin's newest and greatest. Well, greatest, I don't know. It's not better than Billy Marcus. I gotta say that. But newest. And he is great. The greatest is a stretch. Billy's my homie. The newest unofficial Dogecoin CEO, Greg 166-769-35420. Say that 3 times fast. Who is the real Greg? Nick Balls.
I have some facts about Greg. You know, I know. Well, obviously, I think we all know the state that he lives in. I know that he likes to play golf.
Golf, yes.
I might know what course he plays at. I know that he lives on a lake, and I know what his backyard looks like.
And a lake. A golf.
So if I can figure out these things, I'm telling you, I wouldn't. If I did find out who Greg was, by the way, I wouldn't. I'll tell you, but I wouldn't say it on the show.
So right now we have golf,
and he just messaged me too. He said, "If you find any personal info on me, please don't dox me." I would never.
Yeah, we would never do that, Greg. Yeah. You might be making Greg a little nervous right now. Greg, just to be clear, we would never dox any personal, anything close to being personal information on you. No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We're just having fun, my friend. As fans, we are having fun, and I know the crowd is just really enjoying your and celebrating in the first day of your tenure as new unofficial CEO of Dogecoin, and so we consider you a friend and an ally of the Doge, Greg. So yeah, we wouldn't do that to you, buddy. But I do expect you, Nick, if you do find out, to at least let us know. You don't have to reveal the details of it, but you can at least say that you think you know, right?
Yeah, I would tell you, and you're probably It's so funny because like in the Dogecoin community, like I think I tell you more. Like you have more insider info from me than anybody else, and it's never gotten out. So
right,
I feel confident in my trust of the Steven Steele trap of security.
Yes, my lips are steeled, ladies and gentlemen. We are discussing the mystery of the Greg, perhaps the greatest mythological character in Doge lore, and so we are speculating, and that's all we can do. But Nick seems to have a pretty keen skill set and of an arsenal at his disposal that could prove to be pretty fruitful in figuring out this and unraveling this mystery. We'll just have to see where it takes us. Dogecoin now trading sideways about 33 cents. As Nick and I have discussed many times before, very recently, I imagine that Doge will continue to trade sideways anywhere from 27 to 35, 36 cents for quite a while. It's not a bad thing, but I do feel strongly that another day of parabolicness will eventually bestow us. What do you say, Nick?
Yeah, well, we obviously have the Coinbase listing to look forward to in the next, I think, 4 weeks is the countdown. So
is that it now? About 4 weeks?
I think it's about 4 weeks. Yeah, I forgot what their time. They said 6 to 8. And that was a couple weeks ago. So, yeah, I think we're looking at about 4 to 5 or so weeks. So that we're going to see a gradual run up, with the without any terrible news that hits the entire market, kind of a thing happening. So I can see a run up taking place over the next few weeks for sure. Obviously, we're seeing it in front of our very eyes right now. But I guess, time will tell. I still believe that Elon is withholding the Tesla announcement for a very special moment. He knows what he's doing, and it'll come at just the right time.
Yeah, I feel that way too. I think Elon's obviously, in addition to being naturally very, very brilliant, I think his business instincts will serve him well on this, and I do feel that he is waiting for just the right moment, and it does have to be just the right moment, frankly. And I think he's looking at a number of factors that are even things that we aren't even thinking about, things that and information that we don't have access to figuring in when this decision will be made and why. But I imagine that what he's waiting to do, he's waiting for the perfect timing so that when he does announce this sort of thing, it will position Dogecoin to be unstoppable, so to speak, at that point. Wouldn't you say, Nick?
Yeah, and that's why I implore people to just kind of embrace the sideways, as many of us did during the sideways trading a few months back. I certainly embraced the sideways movement back then, and I think you should now, especially because, like Stephen just mentioned, whenever Doge likes to trade in this kind of very tight tight zone with a few up and down movements for quite some time, and then the price just out of nowhere will go absolutely parabolic, and it is completely unrelated to anything. It doesn't have anything to do with Bitcoin, or it's completely disconnected from all other market factors. It's not even based off of like an Elon tweet or anything like that. The parabolic moves that Doge takes is just completely out of the blue. And I think the next one coming up, as we've discussed before, will bring us to about $1, if not through $1. And this could happen. It could happen at any moment. So, just hang tight. It'll happen. It could happen tomorrow, or it could be in 2 months. I have no idea.
Yeah, agreed. Kyle says, Steven, having some green tea ice cream, ever try it? Yes, I love green tea ice cream, although I am lactose intolerant, so I would need a dairy-free alternative to re-engage in that. But I have had it in the past. I love green tea ice cream. I love anything matcha-infused, matcha-flavored specifically. And I've had some excellent green tea ice cream in Chinatown in New York and Chinatown in Chicago. But the stuff I had in New York was just phenomenal. Isaac coming in, $10 super chat. Thank you, Isaac. Really appreciate that, my man. On a call, missed a chance to comment earlier. Doge and its investors shouldn't have to suffer unduly to regulations because companies got caught with their pants down shorting during the GME fallout. Hashtag Doge coming in with some very fiery point there. Do you have any thoughts on that, Nick?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the regulatory action that the government could take based... Well, I gotta sneeze. Maybe? No.
Right on the verge, huh?
Yeah, I do. There we go. Okay. I think that the regulatory action the government will be taking or could be taking to regulate the crypto markets really has less to do with the stock market and GME fallout and more to do with monetary inflation overall. I don't think it has much to do with the stock market, although I think it would benefit Wall Street in the sense that it would cause a money flow from crypto to major U.S. companies, which is probably something that the U.S. government would be looking to try and do to bolster the economy in the event that hyperinflation takes over, which is pretty much a guarantee if you're printing trillions of dollars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, agreed, and pretty well laid out there, Nick. Nick, I kind of want to go back to the a little bit of the BSC talk here. There's something that you touched on before that I wanted to expound upon. I think is pretty interesting. Something you mentioned when you were talking about, you were alluding to the idea that within the token market, the BSC market, that there was likely some figures kind of lurking behind the scenes that probably own a large variety and network of these tokens. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of evidence, both speculative and reliable evidence to show that there is a I don't know what you'd want to call it, a
network, perhaps?
Network or conglomerate or a group of individuals who are in control of some of the largest BSC coins. And the worst part about it is because, and this is, bringing us back to regulation, there's no regulation in the crypto space in the sense that there is nothing to prevent these people from, there's nothing that requires them to come out and say, we own this, 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 and this. Where in the stock world, if Coke bought Pepsi, that would be, it would be insane news. I mean, that would be all over the news, and it would have to be reported. Coke would have to report that to the government. There's nothing in crypto world that states that has to be done. So, as an investor, you're almost left out in the dark, and you have to do your own due diligence. And the problem is, when the facts are facts and they're there and they're clear, there's still going to be people saying that you're spreading FUD and that you're just a hater on this particular token, when in reality, it's just facts. It doesn't change my opinion one way or another, but it's something that everyone who invests in BSC projects should be aware of, that there is absolutely no regulation in the sense that the owners of these projects could be working together, and there's nothing to prevent them from doing that. And you guys really want to talk about market manipulation? Well, this is the makings of one of the greatest manipulated markets known to man. And we say a lot on this show that Bitcoin can be manipulated because of the hash farms that are created in China that control a large amount of the nodes. But this is on another level, and it might not be a large problem now, but down the road it could be a major issue if these coins grow significantly in market cap over time.
I think their last point there really is an important one, because I get kind of been put in the hot box for this too. Why are you pushing this? Why are you even bringing up these questions? Why don't you just leave it alone? Why are you hating on perhaps because some certain people and certain viewers are maybe invested in some of these BSCs that we are speculating on? I want to be very clear. I am merely speculating on at this point. All I can do is report to you guys the interesting information that I come across about this stuff. I'm not in a position, I'm very trepidatious to be able to assert myself and draw absolute conclusions about the data that I'm coming across and starting to present more and more now. I am leaving that up to you guys, and I am happy to see that different people are interpreting the data in different ways. I think that's healthy. I think these conversations are healthy. But as Nick said, one of the main reasons why I feel a need to do this and include this going forward, presenting some of these findings and information, is because what happens, the BSC market's still very much in its infancy. It's still very new, but what happens when some of these go on to be wildly successful, very big, long-term companies that go on to achieve greater power and influence, and yet the investors still have no idea the shadowy associations that are afoot with some of these companies? I feel that the investors, to a certain degree, deserve to know if some of their favorite tokens are actually have been launched by the same one group of people that, maybe they've launched 20 of these. And we have seen, in my opinion, more than enough evidence to suggest that some of that is happening to a degree, that a group of individuals are perhaps behind are just kind of casting a wide net, right? And seeing what sticks. Nick?
Yeah, I think that is a very accurate statement. Guys, we're not here. A lot of people, Billy talks about this all the time. You might not like a token, or you might not like a coin, but do yourself a favor. Just buy a little bit of one and then see how you feel about it. Because as soon as you own something, you become emotionally invested in it. I don't care who you are. I've been emotionally invested in Doge for over 7 years now, and I acknowledge the fact that I carry emotional attachment to my investment, not just because it's made me into a multimillionaire, but because I grew with the community, both physically and mentally. And to say that you can't, that anyone is devoid of emotional connection to their monetary investments is just hullabaloo. And I think that people who are especially new to investing, that are getting sucked into BSC projects that have just started to open up, are feeling that initial emotional burst that I felt 7 years ago getting into the Doge community. You feel like you're getting it on the ground level. And to some degree, there's nothing wrong with that. But you do have to objectively define what is right and what is wrong with specific projects. I had to do the same with Doge back in 2014. I had to make the conscious decision that this was the first coin of the time that had a supply cap that was not only inflationary but just massive, in hundreds of billions of coins. I had to figure out the math behind that and look at the positives and the negatives. You can do this rationally, mathematically, and also not get overly emotional about it, and make rational decisions. And just because we find something that might be considered risky or seems off or might be a problem, doesn't mean we're attacking this particular project. It just means that there should be questions, and there should be answers to those questions. And I think that's all very healthy, especially for brand new projects. That's exactly what you should be doing. You shouldn't just be just buying something and it just came out yesterday and thinking that it's all good. Most of the time it's not, and especially nowadays there's so many rugs. Steven, you on mute?
Sorry, thank you for that. I was listening very actively. I was actually getting enthralled in what you're saying. It's nice. It gives myself as the show host, and when I can kind of just get caught up in my co-host talking and me actually starting to feel like an audience member. It's nice. So thank you, Nick. But I'd like to give a shout out to Martina Marcota, who's in the chat and watching the show right now. Martina is kind of like a New York City nightlife icon and former model, and she also is an artist and an author. And I've been in talks with her about getting her on the show. We don't have anything worked out yet, but I'm looking forward to having her on the show as a featured guest soon. So good to see you. Good to see you, Martina, and looking forward to following up with you. So thanks for popping in. Appreciate it.
She looks like my tattoo.
Yeah.
Well, she looks like the tattoo of the girl I have on my ribcage.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I think I've probably seen in some of your bodybuilder stuff, but yeah, interesting. Okay. Anyway, yeah, good to hear from you, Martina. So I think what you're laying out there, Nick, is really interesting, and also another thing too that's just kind of interesting. And dabbling in this stuff, it's just fun. It's interesting, right? It's kind of it involves some detective work. It involves maybe perhaps a side order of tinfoil hatism, a bit of Alex Jonesism, but also what we've learned too is a sentiment that I always like to apply to exploring these kinds of things, and just anytime I'm trying to formulating a perception or opinion on anything is an old saying that goes, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, right? It's an old saying that, just be sure when you're looking into something. It's kind of also goes along with the, another old saying is, chew the hay, spit out the sticks. So it's just kind of like, it's up to you as you're kind of have a bit of a tinfoil hat on. That doesn't mean that it's all preposterous, that it's all completely ridiculous. Many times the truth is somewhere in between, right? Many times when you are exploring new ideas and you're putting together theories that seem a bit far-fetched, many times there are things about those theories that are absolutely far-fetched, but you end up picking up, usually anyway, from my experiences, some bits of truth that you normally wouldn't have figured into your perception about that topic that you're investigating. What do you say, Nick?
Yeah, I mean, I think objective criticism is important on every level in investments and life, and it's you have to be objective about what you're doing. And I feel like just bringing it back to the BSC space, a lot of BSC investors are young. They're kids. They have they're attractive projects to children, not children, but young people, young investors, 18 to 25. And the reason they're attractive to them is because they're extremely cheap as far as cost per token, and they have very flashy advertisement. And clearly the internet has evolved so much in the past 10 years that marketing has become like the number one thing online, and these BSC tokens are all now being held. I would imagine the average age range for a BSC holder is probably like 18 to 25, and there's nothing wrong with that, but you just have to realize when you're between 18 and 25, you're not always making the best life decisions. I certainly wasn't. And, although at the time I invested in Doge, which turned out to be the greatest life decision I ever made, there's so many projects out there now that picking the right one that will be a good investment in the long term is becoming exponentially more difficult. And I feel like there's going to be a generation of crypto investors who are young now, who in a decade, at the very least, will have nothing to show for it, and at the worst, will be left out to dry and financially in peril because of it. Mute, Steven.
I think you raised something really interesting out there. What I've been doing is I've been so caught up in having this discussion with you that I just wanted to make sure that no noise is bleeding through whatsoever while you're talking, and that's why I keep muting it.
It's all good.
Yeah,
I just never know if it's the Discord.
No,
we have Discord issues.
Yeah, Discord always can be a very temperamental affair, right? So, that being said, I think the final aspect on this this topic anyway that I wanted to discuss is how far do you think potentially, I guess what I'm asking is, from what you've seen, and I think both of us are still examining a lot of information behind the scenes that we have not even brought to the public yet. From what you have seen and what you've been coming across, potentially, as far as the whole BSC kind of theories that we are just speculating upon right now, how far do you think this rabbit hole potentially goes?
All the way to Gambia.
All the way to Gambia, my friends. Literally. What's funny is I think that's a great answer. What's so funny is that meme started with yours truly when I witnessed David G having a pretty spirited exchange with some Safe Moon folks in a Twitter live space, and David G's a very kind of blunt, I wouldn't say crass is the word, but just a very blunt Brooklyn, Bronx personality. And he was just saying, what is its utility? What is its utility, guys? And then there's a long pause, and then the host of the room said, and not in jest, it said, we're going to Gambia. I just thought that exchange was so unintentionally hilarious that I made a meme out of it where I showed a picture of David G asking what is this utility, and then somebody responding, the community responding, we're going to Gambia, and then I think
it was that guy, the guy that he got in the argument the other day about the gym, about lifting.
It's the same guy?
It was that. I think it was that guy.
No, it wasn't that guy.
It wasn't.
That guy goes by the name. He's also a very bombastic personality as well. He goes by some very like crypto bully, I think he goes by.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that guy. It's not that guy.
Okay.
This is a guy who is actually one of the more popular, who has become anyway, one of the more popular live streamers in relation to this particular crypto. But so he's the one that answered it. I thought it was so hilarious that I actually made an audio meme of it that many people have heard, and then it kind of played around with it on the air here. Well, what ended up happening is Liv thought it was so funny. She just thought it was so funny that when she was one of her special guest features on this show, for those of you who don't know, Liv is the CEO and founder of Ass Token. Somebody asked her, where do you see Ass Token in 5 years from now? And she paused and she said, Gambia, right? And then we were kind of like, I was kind of playing it up with that and brought in the music and this, that, and the other thing. Well, literally within an hour to 2 hours, I had about 20 Ass Token Gambia memes sent to my inbox, many of them involving me in it. The meme game and meme response team with the Ass Token community is just unparalleled, unlike something I've ever seen, and that's really saying something when it comes to Doge. But the Doge meme army, don't get me wrong, Doge meme army in terms of sheer volume is unbeatable. But I'm just saying in terms of response and turnaround time, the Ass Token meme army is pretty impressive. So then, to make things crazier, within like 2 days, Liv comes back to me and was like, "Oh yeah, well, we are literally going to Gambia now." So Ass Token is just it started as a meme and now it's becoming a reality with Liv, and that's one of the things I really love about her. So long story short is somebody in the Ass Token community has some connections in, I don't know specifically Gambia, but in particular regions of Africa that they are exploring and looking to expand partnerships in. So it's just, to me, this whole thing is just, sometimes truth is stranger than fiction, right?
Yeah, I mean, after this year, well, really after 2020, I feel like I don't know, whatever they're doing at CERN or potentially Fermilab, which is right by my house, whatever these large particle accelerators are doing, they're breaking the matrix every day.
Breaking the matrix.
It's just something new every day. It's freaking something. I really am excited to go on vacation, guys, and I just wanted to say I'm going to get off in a little bit here, but I just wanted to say while I was on, I might be a little bit more, I might be a little less active on Twitter than I normally am just for the next few days as I'm depleting my last bit of fat reserves. But, I'm really looking forward to going on vacation and getting away from the social media vibe for a week or so. But I am also looking forward to getting back and I feel like by the time I get back, we're like the whole scene is going to be flipped upside down. I'm just very interested to see what occurs in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, right on. Well, Nick, I don't want to hold you up much longer. I know there's a reason why you look the way you do and you have the lifestyle way you do. It's not an accident. It's consistent everyday decisions and discipline every day. So I get it. Is there? I don't know if there's anything else you want to add before you vamoose.
Yeah, no, guys, just make sure you guys tune in tomorrow. We've got Papa Dojo coming on. I'll be here. We'll chat a little bit. I've been meaning to get in a Discord call with him anyway because I wanted to go over his diet and stuff. So maybe we'll talk a little physical fitness tomorrow. We'll talk about the shortcomings of the Flare network integration and how Flare is actually probably not a good thing for Doge.
Interesting.
And yeah, we've got a bunch of great topics to cover tomorrow. So guys, make sure you're hitting the subscribe, you're hitting us with likes, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
And for those who don't already follow, I think most of you, I imagine, already follow Nick Balls on Twitter, but I'll just pop his URL in the chat in the event that you don't. And again, Nick, thanks. I'll follow up with you tomorrow, my friend.
Appreciate it. Sounds good, buddy. Have a good
You
show.
got it. You as well. Nick Balls, the Dogecoin millionaire, the man who took the reckless decision to take out a $15,000 loan back in 2014, used 10 of that $15,000 to invest in Dogecoin and dog money. And now he is sitting on over $3 million worth of Dogecoin. Consequentially, not financial advice, folks, but an interesting story nevertheless, and an inspiring one. I just can't get enough of his story and his narrative in these times. I think it's just makes his background story that much more interesting given the times that we're in right now. So yeah, guys, tomorrow night, again, Papa Dojo, one of the primary developers for Dogecoin, will be with us tomorrow night on the air, coming to us live from Canada. I believe he's in Quebec. But don't quote me on it. But I believe he's in Quebec, and the reason why I'm thinking that's the case is because he has his overtly French accent. So, and I got some other great guests I'm in the works in right now. This show has been around under 2 months, but the growth has been just phenomenal, and I'm just really looking forward to bringing in a more variety of guests and just kind of extrapolating on what the fantastic community that we've already started to build here, and just bring you guys more and more interesting conversations, fantastic conversations. And I'm really pride myself to bringing you guys the most interesting people that I can within this general space, and the vibe that I have been creating here with each and every one of you, right? Listen, if you haven't hit the thumbs up button, smash that like button like you would smash your childhood celebrity crush. Takes a split second of your time. It doesn't cost you a dime. It's honestly like the number one most simple thing you can do to help the channel get up in front of more viewers. Secondly, if you're new here, I would like to personally welcome you. My name's Steven Steele. You're watching Steven Steele Live, and I would encourage you to subscribe and join the community here and meet new and interesting people. And if you haven't joined the Discord yet, I haven't promoted the Discord here for a while. I'm going to put a link to the Discord, or the Steven Steele Live Discord, which is open 24 hours a day, including an audio chat room, or general voice chat, in case you want to mix it up in there as well. I'm going to put that in here in case you want to join the Steven Steele Discord. And that has been growing pretty quickly lately too. So, and obviously you can feel free to super chat me any questions or comments throughout the rest of this broadcast. I will prioritize those accordingly. Obviously, those are greatly appreciated as they afford me to be able to spend so much time covering all this stuff and on the content that I do. So I think we covered a lot tonight in terms of where the market is in relation to Dogecoin, et cetera, and some other topics as well. I'm just trying to think if you have any questions for me, feel free to put them in the chat. I will read them out loud and do my best. It looks like Bitcoin at this time is up almost 7% for the day, just trading a bit under 37,000. Ethereum finally coming back again. Overall, this was a very strong day, a very good day for cryptocurrency, as Ethereum is up 15% for the day, trading just a bit over 2,600. And then XRP Ripple, who is still embattled, embroiled in a legal battle with the SEC, but things are looking more and more optimistically for Ripple and XRP in handling that. They have an incredible legal team that I'm sure cost a pretty penny. My main concern is, though, what happens when the SEC starts coming after crypto companies that aren't as well armed financially and as well connected as those in XRP. What happens then? Hopefully, I hope that the XRP team continues to beat back the SEC to the point that it gives them pause, right? It gives them trepidation in keep trying to do these kinds of things more often in the future. So I do think XRP is going to continue to look up in the long term. ADA, our friend ADA, Charles Hoskinson's life's work, ADA Cardano, is up 11% today, and it is up about the same for the week. So it was trading sideways and faltering along like the most of the rest of the market until today. So ADA, Charles, and the words of Mark Cuban, I hope all your dreams come true, Charles. I hope all your dreams come true, Charles. And Litecoin trading is up about 7.5% for the day, trading at about $685 right now. Ethereum Classic, one that's really captured the imagination and attention of a lot of investors lately, is up about 8% of the day, trading at about $68. And it's still down even at about 8.5% for the week. To put it in context, obviously that means it was down about 17% of the week. So that's been sliced in half over the course of the day. So overall, this has been a very good day for cryptocurrency, a very good sign. I'm just going to go through a couple more real quick for you guys. Algo is up about 11% for the day, and it's only down now about 3.5% for the week. So Algo going on to almost nearly neutralize the effect of the latest dip, crash, whatever you want to call it, that we have been experiencing there. Great sign for Algo. BTT, BitTorrent, something I haven't checked on in a while, is up about 7% for the day, down about 7% for the week. So it's cut its losses from this crash in half, and showing some good movement here. Let's see if there's anything else that's notable for coverage. Dash. I know some of you guys are invested in Dash. Dash is up about 10% for the day, still down about 4% for the week, and not too bad at all. So in my opinion, Dash is starting to look really healthy, starting to look like it's coming out of all of this pretty nicely, especially compared to a lot of other coins in the market. So yeah, keep an eye on Dash. Yeah, and I think that's about it. Nothing really to tell about VGX. VGX token, it's just traded about $2.50. It's up 11% for the day, which is good. Not saying all that much though, considering It is down 40, still down 43% for the month. So VGX, once showing lots of promise and could still go on to show lots of promise, has been faltering, in my opinion, kind of slipping and dipping along with Voyager in general as a platform. I talked about this last night on Steven Steele After Hours, where I kind of pitted the state of Robinhood versus the state of Voyager back to back. I say this as somebody who's been very bullish on Voyager. I still have a partnership code right in the description of all my videos. I still like Voyager for its ease of use, its efficiency, its transfers, its bank transfers to and from your bank account are lightning quick. I love that about it. I love the ease of use. I love the interface. I still think it could benefit greatly from a dark mode. Hello, developers. Brought this up to you guys several times. But I mean, imagine using Twitter without dark mode. Ugh, gross. Who would use Twitter on the regular without a dark mode? No one, folks. Trilam, Marley's dad, smash that like you would smash your celebrity crush. Steven, you kill me with some of that stuff. Thank you, Marley's dad. Good to see you. I was so bullish on VGX for so long, and I had great reason to be, because up until the last few months, it was my opinion that, and it wasn't even an opinion, I felt that Voyager had just shown exemplary leadership skills and exemplary, exceptional execution on projects and goals and timelines. All this seems to have kind of gone by the wayside to the point where customer service has become non-existent at this point in time for Voyager. Tons of people are reporting that they have deposited various cryptocurrencies into their Voyager accounts for those deposits to have never come through, never shown up. Then most people can't even get someone to answer an email or a message from the Voyager camp. There's zero support going on for lots of people who are wondering what happened to their deposits. So I'm still continuing to use Voyager, but do not use Voyager as a wallet right now. Do not use Voyager as something that you can reliably transfer funds in and out of, but especially in. Right now, they are not a trustworthy platform for this. And if somebody from Team Voyager wants to get in touch with me to at least start having some talks, to start communicating with me about what the heck is going on with your platform and what plans you have to improve it, I am all ears. I am more than happy to help give you a platform to discuss this. But the fact is, all my efforts in communicating with them have been completely ignored, and I don't think very highly of that, particularly since with my platform, how many people I know firsthand that I have sent to your platform. I just feel that at least a response would be nice, but I'm not expecting it at this point. I will say that Robinhood, for as hard as I've been on them in the past, for as hard as I've been on Vlad in the past, have been showing more and more promise. Vlad has been coming through more. I have been hearing more and more stories from people who still use Robinhood as their predominant trading platform, that their customer service has been getting stepped up, that their issues have been getting resolved with more efficiency. I'm not sure if that's the case for everyone, but I've certainly been seeing that reported through people coming to me about it. The only thing is, one of the disadvantages of doing a lot of your crypto trading on Robinhood is there's just not a lot of variety. So at this time anyway, there's not as much variety over there of different coins to trade with, but it looks like that's probably going to change in the future here. I know Vlad has really stepped up the amount of staffing in the crypto department over there. And I say this as someone who's been, you know me, I've been more critical of Vlad than almost right up there with anyone in the space. But I got to acknowledge in this space, when you cover this kind of stuff, you got to be flexible. Things can change. things can change pretty quickly, and you got to be able to be flexible and be able to recalibrate your opinions on certain things. And this is certainly one of those things. So Voyager, please get it together. Please get it together. Please at least start communicating with your customers. A lot of customers have been losing a lot of money using your platform. That's not right. That's not right. You know, get your wallet game together, figure out what's going on there, and at least start communicating with people. For the love of God, at least start communicating with your customers. Anthony Grant coming in with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Anthony. Top of the night, Mr. Steele. Been celebrating the holiday, feeling good. Happy Memorial Day. Surge coming tomorrow. Surge coming tomorrow, he says. I hope you're right, my friend. Nobody would love to see a surge more than yours truly. And you better believe it, if that surge starts to become a reality, I will get on here. I will do extra coverage. I will be on the front lines of that coverage, my friends. Voyager goes down often more than Robinhood. That has been the case lately. That has been the case, I'd say, over the past 3 or 4 weeks. But before that, Voyager hardly ever went down. Hardly ever went down. Let's see what else you guys are talking about. Do they even finish the VGX swap? Celeste is asking. Ben out of the loop. Good question. I don't think so. I'll have to confirm that. And if they have, you wouldn't know about it because Voyager's been, in my opinion, done a terrible job of promoting VGX, talking about it, marketing it. I mean, I'm a VGX investor. I actually own quite a bit of VGX, and I don't even know if they finished the swap. So what does that tell you? What does that tell you? I mean, for crying out loud, I think most people that even own Voyager, but that trade on Voyager, they don't even know about VGX at this point. It's just like, I'm not going to lay into them. I think I've laid into Voyager hard enough for one night. I'm gonna give them a chance for somebody to get back to me. Maybe let's see if they start course correcting some of this stuff. At least start communicating with their customer base as more than just numbers. Maybe they'll actually start addressing people like anyone about anything. Who knows? My friend Matt Wallace on a little tweet storm here just tweeted out, people can try to divide us all they want, but they won't succeed. Dogecoin family sticks by each other no matter what. So Matt Wallace kind of expressing a sentiment there. There has been some attempts to divide us out there, and I think he's speaking to that right now for a greater call to unity, from Final Stand. Gemini any good? I've heard good things about Gemini. Gemini is the inception and the trading platform of the Winklevoss twins. What an interesting name, the Winklevoss twins. The Winklevoss twins are, for those of you who don't know, are old buddies with Mark Zuckerberg and right around the inception of Facebook, right? They are all right in that scene. And there's some discrepancy and some different opinions as to whose idea Facebook predominantly was between the Winklevoss twins and Mark Zuckerberg, etc. Some people think more one, some people think more in the other. And it's interesting, right? But the Winklevoss twins, these guys, they look like they're right out of like a G.I. Joe cartoon, these two, the Winklevoss twins, right? But they're very big on cryptocurrency. They're very big on Bitcoin. And they started Gemini. Gemini And I believe Gemini is also going to be moving into the NFT market, in addition to Binance. Binance is moving hastily towards being able to offer up NFT buying options as well. So we shall see, guys. We shall see. There's so much that is going to unfold in this crazy, weird crypto world we're all find ourselves involved in, and it's going to keep unfolding, and I think in a pretty fascinating way. Yeah, I agree with you from what I've seen too, Celeste. I think that is true. A couple months ago, the CEO was all over promoting with interview. Not a peep said. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there, Celeste. I just, I say as someone, I want Voyager to get back on track more than anyone. I want to see it. I want to see more fire in the belly over there. At least more communication with its most active customer base, you know? So what, 2 weeks for Doge on Coinbase? I very optimistically would be 2 weeks. I don't think it'll be quite that quick. I would say more 4 or 5 weeks out from now, if I had to guess. But from what I've heard, I don't use Gemini, but it's gotten very good reviews from those who actively trade on it. Delos Doge coming in a $5 super chat. Thank you, Delos. Appreciate you. Gemini is a good platform for those of New York City residents that are limit in buying crypto. Yeah, so basically, thank you, Delos. So basically, Delos is what he's expressing. New York, the state of New York has more regulations on cryptocurrency than any other state in the union. It can be a bit more difficult navigating your way around the trading market as a resident of New York. And so Delos, I'm not in New York, so I don't know what's going on there, I don't know what's going on there as far as the details on what platforms are more accessible to there than others. I know Voyager is not. Delos says Gemini is a great platform for those in New York. So that's good to know. Thank you for that information, Delos. And yeah, that is what I'm finding out too. I was just talking about that a few minutes ago. I do think that Robinhood is going to continue to expand its options of what coins that it will be taking on to be able to offer its users. And I think that Robinhood could really go on. I never thought I'd say it. Robinhood could really go on to be in a pretty, dare I say, positive force in a major positive force in cryptocurrency for all of the crap that I've given Vlad, and crap well deserved, might I add. Well deserved. I want to make that clear. At the same time, it's noteworthy that he was the first major exchange. Robinhood was the first big major exchange to platform Dogecoin. So it's kind of a double-edged sword because Doge, I mean, obviously Robinhood has had a significant role in taking Dogecoin out of the fractions of the penny into where it is now, into a top 10 cryptocurrency. Right? Okay. Robinhood will be adding Shiba Inu. People are asking for it. I don't know. I know the people that are really into Shiba, they're really into it. I've gone pretty hard on them. If you're in this room and you're a big Shiba owner and you still are a big fan of mine, you've got some thick skin, and I I appreciate you because I've gone in pretty heavy on Shibu. I personally, their whole concept really rubbed me the wrong way. That being said, I want people to make money, and I know people have made some good money if playing their cards right anyway with Shibu. You got to do what you got to do. Yeah, low roller. I think you raised a good point there. Yes. Yeah, AMC is definitely back in the spotlight again. I'm one of those that sold early. I mean, not that I owned a ton of AMC, but I have bought some shares in the past, right when the initial Wall Street bets movement was really highlighting GMC right out of the gate. I got in right at there, and I lost patience. And I was looking at a few different metrics, and I to make that decision to sell. And it was falling short of all my projections and the things that I was basing those projections on. And so I sold. Obviously, I wish I would have held on at this point. But hindsight's always 20/20. And if we all had it, we'd all be very, very, very wealthy, powerful people. We would be like Biff in Back to the Future 2, coming across the book of sports, the sports almanac from the future, right? And you would take that sports, it'd be like having a sports almanac from the future to take back with you to 1955. Where do you think you would end up in 10 years from that moment? You'd be a very, very wealthy, powerful person. Yeah, I think Dogecoin's looking really good. Speaking of Back to the Future, I think 2 is a pretty underrated. I like the whole trilogy quite a bit, actually. I like all 3 of the movies, but I think 2 is a pretty underrated one. Michael J. Fox plays like a dozen different characters, from his own mother to his hapless son to his father in the future to his sister. Like, he does the whole thing, and I think he does it all with stride. I think he does a really funny job of it. And also, another thing I like about Back to the Future too, it's pretty dystopian. It's pretty dark, right? It's pretty it's like a future dystopia, a very dark future, and it's interesting. It's just an interesting vibe, and it adds a very I don't know, just an extra dimension to the trilogy that you wouldn't expect. It was like a nice sidestep divergence to the trilogy before kind of bringing it back onto its adventurous, happy-go-lucky kind of vibe, you know? Celeste's Biff in 2 was my favorite. I know people that are many people are big connoisseurs of Back to the Future, kind of poo-poo 3. Some of the film snobs really don't like Back to the Future 3. I mean, I think even trying to be a film snob about Back to the Future on any level is kind of silly. But some people are. It's kind of like how people can really be that way about the first 3 Star Wars movies made, right? But I think 3 is pretty darn good, man. And I really like it. And I think that the Western, country Western time travel stuff really translates pretty well. Low roller, just by these. Okay, I have to be careful about making statements like that behind the microphone. This is not financial advice, but Low Roller, in his opinion, says that to buy the meme stocks, and you will make decent money. I even now at this point getting in, I don't know. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong, Low Roller. And truth be told, I haven't really followed the stonk scene and not nearly as much as I used to, just because between running my business and being so involved as almost a full-time content creator and kind of in the general crypto and talk show space, I haven't had the time. Someone says AMC about to go off, like go off. Yeah, Chi-Chi says, I wish one platform would have all coins so I could just get all my stuff in one place. I know it's difficult. It's one thing I'm really disappointed on with Voyager is the fact that they don't have Matic. To me, that just seems like a home run, like a slam dunk. Why wouldn't you have Matic at this point? Dubai coin shot up 1,000x. That's the thing. I gotta tell you, when I hear Dubai coin 1,000x, just make sure you cash out at 1,000x, because there's the overwhelming odds will suggest that that's not going to last long. It's going to come crashing down, never to return. That's usually how those things happen. So make sure, as Kenny Rogers said, no one to hold them, no one to fold them, no one to walk away, no one to run, my friends. Guys, welcome to Steven Steele Live. This is your man, Steven Steele, coming to you, of course, live. The time where I am is about quarter to midnight where I am. If you're out in that West Coast, you are at about quarter to 10 on the PM. If you're on the East Coast of Florida, you are definitely going into those Doge after dark hours, quarter to 1 in the morning, etc., etc. I have been broadcasting since about 9:30-ish, about 9. Wow, time flies, guys. I've been going almost 3 hours tonight. And Nick was on with us earlier. We've just been having a good time. And now I am focusing the show on communicating with you guys in the chat. So as long as you guys are communicating, staying active, communicating with the chat, I will stay on longer. Jonathan Marino coming with a $2 super chat. Thank you for that, Jonathan. Adam Cosmos, any thoughts on it? Steven Steele. Adam Cosmos, I am familiar with it, but let me do a little more. Searching on it. I know it's a DeFi, and I have looked into this before. I don't remember getting my first instinct is decent. Like, I don't have that like alarm vibe about Adam. Okay. Now I remember when and where I researched Adam. It's all coming back to me. So it's, Adam Cosmos. It's a network of many like independent blockchains that they refer to as zones. Now this is coming back to me. Yes. And the zones are powered by Tendermint Core. And the Cosmos Hub is a multi-asset proof-of-stake crypto with a simple governance mechanism that enables the network to adapt and upgrade. Tokens can be transferred from one zone to another securely and quickly without the need for exchange of liquidity between zones. To me, that's its most provocative feature. It's the most interesting feature. Tokens can be transferred from one zone to another securely and quickly without the need for exchange liquidity between zones. Instead, all inter-zone token transfers go through the Cosmos hub. It gets a little bit dizzying there, but overall, I do like Cosmos. Cosmos is up about 400% since this time last year, and it's definitely taken a big hit though with the market dip over the last month. It's down about 40%, down about 1% for today. Or so a percent over the last week, sorry, big difference. But it came up today pretty heartily like the rest of the crypto market did, but even a little bit better than the rest of the market did, to the tune of almost 17%, right? So overall, I like the utility of Atom Cosmos. I do get a good vibe from it. Is the only thing is now, right, its buy-in position is at $14. Is that a good buy-in point? You think you could probably do better on your buy-in point. So thank you, Jonathan. Trucking all day coming in at a generous $20 super chat, putting a little pep in my step, helping to pay my my cell phone and my internet bills here. Thank you for that, Trucking all day. Appreciate that. Appreciate you. YouTube Voyager CEO Steve Elrick was on Bloomberg News talking about how Voyager had 6x deposits and crypto doesn't get the off time like stocks do to upgrade the systems. It may seem all exchanges can't keep up with the demand. Thank you for that, Truckin' All Day. I did not see that interview with Steve Elrick, so thank you for the update on that. So hopefully what you're inferring is what is actually happening, that these deposits are just running super extra slow, and hopefully that they do end up coming through. But it seems like the whole blockchain system, as far as its deposits, is on overload. It's overburdened and causing it to short out. Hopefully not to the effect of people straight up losing their investments. Hopefully it's just on a severe delay for most people, where these deposits eventually come through. It'd be nice if Voyager actually made statements like this, aside from a CEO on some corporate news network knows most of its investors don't even watch anyway. To me, that strikes me as incredibly tone deaf. Listen, most crypto investors, most of your investors on these crypto platforms, they're not watching CNBC. They're not watching Fox Business. They're not watching any of this stuff. They don't care. They don't care. They'd rather watch paint dry. And frankly, I would rather watch paint dry most of the time. So talk to your people. At least Vlad seems to understand that. He talks to his people. He does interviews with Barstool Sports. He tweets all day. He memes all day. He's getting back to people's questions. He's beefing up on the customer support system, his cryptocurrency staff. Come on, just get with it. Just get with it. Anyway, Trucking All Day, always great to hear from you, and thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate that. Really appreciate that. You got crypto.com. You can buy Matic on crypto.com. Steven Steele, thank you for that. Thank you for the suggest. I have said repeatedly that if I was on a position to buy more crypto right now, which I'm not financially, I have to be frugal, mostly due to my personal health issues right now. But if I was in a position where I could make more crypto investments right now, Matic would be at the top of my list. Guys, if you're brand new here, if you've never watched the show before, press 1 in the chat. If this is your first time watching the show, your first time coming across this channel, I want you to press number one in the chat. And then also, I haven't done a geographic location check in a while. Where is everyone from? I haven't done this in weeks. Where is everyone from that is in this room right now? I want to know the locations of everyone watching. Anthony Grant says Matic is also on Coinbase. Tiffany coming in with 69, because I know it's not her first time. But someone coming in with a number 2. It could be all regulars in here, but just in the event, see if there's a couple new viewers I could personally welcome. Peachtree, yeah, nice try. Nice try. Oregon, Massachusetts, New Jersey, Panama City, Imperial Beats, Panama City, Florida, Imperial Beats. Good to see you, Imperial. Always great to see you, my friend. Toronto, Buffalo, New York, Pennsylvania, Berryville, Arkansas, Louisville, Dayton. Yeah, 69 is one of those polarizing numbers and positions. People love it or hate it. Most women seem to hate it without, you know, I'm just going to leave it there. Dogelander says is from LA, Boise, Idaho, Louisiana, Gambia. Someone says Michigan. Matic is also on Gemini. That much I did know. That doesn't seem like a real zip code, Chi-Chi. It seems to be the zip code of the fictional zip code of Elon Musk. Well, I think everyone that is going to give their locations already gave their locations. I think you guys may be feeling a little bit shy tonight in the chat, a little bit shy, and that's okay. Atlanta, Georgia. Yes, indeed. Guys, for those of you who don't already follow me on Twitter, I think most of you do, but in the event that you don't, I love staying connected with my audience on Twitter. I'm very active over there. My DMs are open, and I do mix it up. I do open up some live rooms over there as well. So make sure you might want to keep up with me over there as well. I'm going to put my Twitter handle in the chat. If you don't follow me already over there, please feel free to do so. Andy Shirley's from Alabama. Rocky Mountains, cool. David says he lives right next to Mike Davis. Wow. Say that backwards. Wow. Central Cali from Victor. Dogecoin zip from Mars. It's Dogecoin zip from Mars. All right, guys. I'm the one that commented Stephanie for OnlyFans. Okay. All right, gang. Well, Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Nathan, welcome, my friend. Welcome. Steven's like, I'm not shy. I'm just working third shift in a grocery store. Listening, bro. Some smooth talk. Thank you, Steve. Yeah, I actually have heard that before, that a lot of my regular listeners are third shifters, which would make sense since most of my programming is late night. So I do appreciate that, and I appreciate all those third shift workers out there doing the work that needs to be done on behalf of all of us. So thank you for that. Thank you. Big respect to all the third shift workers out there. All right, gang. Well, I think I'm going to wind this show down unless some more chats or some questions come in. But I want to thank each and every one of you guys for joining me tonight and tuning in, and really, really appreciate it. I might open up an Insomniac After Hours chat, either here or Twitter, probably Twitter, but we'll see. I do appreciate it, guys. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe before this show goes away, goes into the netherworld, which it is about to do. But if you didn't get a chance to hear the whole show, it was a doozy. It was a good one. All you have to do is refresh the page once this stream is done, and it will be there for you to listen to from the very, very beginning. Truckin' All Day coming through with $5 super chat. Thank you for that, Truckin' All Day. 1987 Barfly movie with Mickey Rourke. I just fart all day. Also, I deliver groceries. Mickey Rourke is a fantastic actor. I mean, that guy, he's really done some excellent work over the years. I particularly liked him in the movie The Wrestler. Who saw The Wrestler? That came out about maybe 8 years ago or so, I imagine. The Wrestler. He did a really good job in that. I thought that was a very moving film, and I love the way that it was laid out. Thought he did an excellent job. What is my Twitter? Someone asks. I will put my Twitter in the chat again. It's under Mr. Steven Steele. Feel free to give me a follow over there. I will put the Twitter URL in the chat to make it easier for you. Oh, yes. Yeah, Truckin' All Day is awesome and a great supporter of the show. I appreciate it so much. Appreciate it so much. Steven Steele, make sure you start your own Twitter Spaces so 90% of the peeps, we 90 peeps, can join it. All right, I will try to do that. Again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Really, really appreciate it. Peachtree also says, also update your Twitter so you can use Spaces, so you can see, you can actually join and listen to Spaces. So make sure that your Twitter app is updated to the latest update. That is something important to do. So thank you for calling that to our attention, Peachtree. Guys, at this, I'm going to leave you with the outro. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you. Love you guys. And until next time, this is Steven Steele signing out.
birds, the summer haze.